Wuthering Waves has had quite the rocky launch. It's bad enough that a lot of people straight up cannot play the game. Now, less than 2 full days after the launch of the game, Kuro Games has come out and apologized. But in typical Kuro Games fashion, it's more than just words. Let's take a look. They've already given 10 lustrous tides as compensation, which is 10 standard pulls, but they started by saying they're going to give another 10 radiant tides to all players. Anyone who reaches Union Level 2 by July 3rd will be able to take advantage of these. On top of that, they want to address a number of concerns the players have. The first of which is the skip function. As of launch, it can only be used in certain cutscenes, most of them, mind you, but not all, and it's not very obvious. So, they plan to redesign the skip function UI button, largely increase the skippable scenes in the main quest storylines, including the prologue in Chapter 1, support the skipping of character dialogue outside of cutscenes and cinematics, and add the companion story for Resonator Yinlin to the game soon. Not really sure why that last one is part of the skip section, because who would skip her? They mention that technical constraints mean they're unable to support the skipping of cutscenes, which I'm guessing accounts for any of those scenes that play automatically, like the really pretty ones. Second on Kuro's list is optimizing the combat experience. They acknowledged issues such as the lack of significant combat actions, lack of visual feedback of action impacts, poor controller combat experience, and visual blockage during combat by environmental objects. They say they've scheduled dedicated optimization of different combat scenes with the goal of improving the positive feedback for players in the combat experience. And also, they're working on improving controller things, like how you can't rebind any hotkeys at the moment on controller, which is kinda weird. But good to know it's coming soon. In fact, they say they're expediting it. And third, Kuro Games truly puts their money where their mouth is, because they are giving everybody a special item called Voucher of Reciprocal Tides, which is a free 5-star selector. You can choose any 5-star standard resonator you want for free. This is considered an event and it is available for the entire first year of the game's lifespan. And fourth, Kuro reassures us that they are working on other optimizations down the line. For example, art assets of certain NPCs, new layered map display function, and more echo transformations. It's been hard to watch as people I know can barely run the game sometimes, especially because there's a really special game underneath the really, really long tutorial. Hopefully this gesture of goodwill will go some way to proving what kind of developer Kuro Games is, but as someone who pulled Lingyang twice in a row, I'm just glad I can finally get Encore. So I'm curious, what kind of issues have you had with Wuthering Waves? And does this compensation go some way to making up for it, or are first impressions everything? Well, we're getting some Radiant Tides as part of this compensation, but if you want to know the difference between them and some of the other currencies in Wuthering Waves, you'll have to watch this video.
Are you a roving traveler from afar, or someone returning home?